This is Rich Cramer with Big Mountain Enduro, and this is the Beyond the Ride podcast. This season, we'll be checking in with mountain bike athletes, brands, and individuals doing big things for the sport of mountain biking. This week on Beyond the Ride, we get to talk with Teresa Hughes. She's the amateur women's champion for last year's BME. She's also kind of new to the sport of enduro racing. From what I understand, maybe 2020 she started riding. So that's like 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. So I'm anxious to get to talk to her. I think you guys are really going to like this podcast. I met Teresa on tour last year at a couple spots, and she's a ball of energy. She's a great rider, pretty fearless from what I got to see of her. Anyway, she was just one of these magnetic riders that are out there you see every week, pushing it, helping each other, push each other. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy this podcast with Teresa Hughes. Yeah.
Hey, this is exciting.
This is exciting. Yeah, this is very exciting.
It's good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you again. I'm sorry that we're inviting us, so.
I'm good with it. If you're good with it, you look great. It's all good.
Thank you.
How are things?
They're good. We got to go riding today, so it's always a good day when you can go riding.
And where are you at? Colorado?
I'm in Sedona right now.
Sedona. Good deal.
Yeah. I came out here like just after Thanksgiving because A, I love it here, and B, I wanted to get more riding in over the winter. And Pacific Northwest, I guess, like there's still some good riding throughout the winter, but I thought the desert would be a good place to go.
Are you kind of mobile still? Are you semi-permanent somewhere? Are you van lifing it still? What's going on?
Yeah, it's funny. So just before Thanksgiving, or like in October, I hit my year in that previous van. And then I really wanted to sort of like try and start to find a base. I was kind of missing that. And I sold the van and I got a RAV4, and I just was like, okay, I'm going to go like try and sublet around until I find a place to land. But then I pretty immediately missed the van. And so I actually just got a different Ram ProMaster for van life. So I'm back at it.
That's cool. And do you have a day job that holds you down? Or are you able to kind of live the nomadic life and work remotely kind of thing?
Yeah, I have a job with a tech company out of Bellevue, Washington. And that enables me to do the remote thing and bounce around.
Nice. So,
yes.
Other than that's a cool catch up, but I wanted to say first, and I want to introduce people to you and how I got to know you a little bit. I met you last year on the BME tour last summer. And to be honest, I was kind of just a fan of what you were going after. You were going after some big stuff last summer.
Thanks. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I had no idea, like going to Ironton was sort of on a whim. And then, that's where we met. So
That's right. Mm-hmm. And tell me your thoughts on Ironton. What did you think about that last year?
Oh, man. It was so chunky. Like I thought I knew what technical terrain was from like some of my riding in Texas, but going to Ironton, I remember on pre-ride day, the weekend before, usually I try and like get as much riding in as I can throughout a pre-ride day and just like go all day. But I remember by 2, I was like, I don't feel safe like doing this anymore, just because it was so relentless and exhausting. Just like all those trails, it was epic.
And then some of the riding up, we had to push a lot to get up. So it was a hard day, hard couple days out there.
That's true. Yeah. Did we meet on that climb? No, is that one?
I think so. I do remember that. I think. And you ended up actually taking second overall there that weekend. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Nice.
I didn't really know what to expect going into it. My buddy Tyler had talked me into riding because he had done the previous year at Ironton, and that sounded like it was wild with all the springs springing up and making everything wet. So he talked me into it, went down there. I was really proud of how that went. And it kind of convinced me to race as many other races as I could sign up for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Which only ended up being Brian Head.
Okay.
But I was ready for Bend. I was so stoked for Bend, and then it didn't pan out.
Well, yeah, it did not. It did not. Not even close. Did you make it? Were you traveling that way? Where were you when that got canceled?
I was up in Washington, so I was ready to get down if it was called on, but I was also just bouncing around up there if it was off.
I think everybody was just kind of waiting in limbo to see what we were going to do. But yeah, that was a mess. It was a mess.
Mm-hmm. It's a bummer, but it had to happen the way it happened.
It did. So hopefully our goal this year is to put 5 races together this season. Full.
I think that time will do well. And I'm excited for Nebo. You just got to check that out, right?
Yeah, we were just there. Nice. I have good news and bad news from there. The good news is the place is really, really cool. It was kind of skeptical the first day we got there. We spent about 3 days there, and it's just different. It just looked real flat, and then all of a sudden you come upon Mount Nebo, and it's a really cool current recreational area right now.
Nice.
And the park itself is kind of on the plateau of Mount Nebo. So you follow a windy road to the top, and that's where all the park and all the trailheads are. Sunset Point, Sunrise Point. It's really cool looking. And there's actually like these old houses and cabins up there. Like, I guess people would go up there kind of vacation to get fresh air and stuff back in the day. So I'm hoping we get to stay on top of there. I don't know what our lodging situations are going to be, but
that would be.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. It's really cool. And we didn't get to see it all. And more good news is Jagged Axe Trail Systems are down there. So we got to see some of those guys, and they're putting in fresh cuts, fresh new stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and really working out like a legit race course.
Heck yeah. I remember talking to Amanda Hamilton about, because she's a local around there, and she raced, I think she won the Arkansas Enduro race there. But I was asking her about it, like, what is it like? And she said that everybody who goes there is like, man, if we could get somebody to put in some trails on this like steep side, that would be epic. Yeah. And then apparently that's what Jagged Axe is doing.
I know. Yeah, it is. And those guys are super pumped about it. And then we met a guy named Mitchell. Mitchell, I'm sorry if you're listening to this, I forget your actual job title, but he was kind of the recreational parks manager. So he was kind of into everything and overseeing the race and helped get everything set up at Nebo. And then he showed us around for a day and really showed us some ins and outs. And it was cool. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So they have some established. Yeah, they got a bunch of established stuff plus some new stuff. But it's legit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That'll be exciting.
I know.
I'm excited because I started riding in Texas, and so I have a big Texas community down there, but I think a lot of them are going to be coming up for the Nebo race. I'm stoked.
Me too, because I want to see how the locals ride it. I want to see what they're able to throw down, because the bad news is I did take a wreck and it was gnarly and I didn't.
Oh no. Are you okay?
Yeah. I broke a rib. I legit broke a rib.
Nice.
I know.
Is it currently hurting right now?
It's currently hurting. Yeah, I'm sitting on a nice pillow here. Yes, I'm propped up.
Ouch. I'm sorry, dude.
I know. But it wasn't anything Nebo did. I just want to put that out there. The trails are awesome. It was definitely a rider error situation. And then like the handlebars.
That'll happen.
Yeah, and the handlebars kind of like just twisted right into my rib. Twisted, kind of poked me, jabbed me, and oh man, it was brutal.
Ouch. That's pits.
No.
And sometimes it's just like, just random falls the way it pans out.
And it happened fast too. It was like real fast, real quick. And then once I was on the ground, I knew it was bad. I knew something was hit bad. So.
So then was it some sort of jackknife, or was it like off of like a jump or a?
No, I wish it was something nice and cool like that, but no, it was a bench cut, I guess you could call it. And then my uphill pedal hit. Yeah. And I don't know what happened. It just happened real quick. Like my pedal, Robert was behind me and he just kind of said my pedal hit. Everything just dumped on me real quick. The handlebars just jackknifed and just went like a straight abdomen shot. I know.
Yeah.
It was one of those where I was on the ground. I was like, oh, something's wrong. Yep. We got to get out of here now.
Ouch.
I know. So that ended my quick trip to Nebo. I was done.
Oh,
sorry.
Man, crashes. I crashed recently, like 2 weeks ago. I'm in Sedona, and I don't know if you know the trail is Slim Shady, but Absolute Bikes just put in like a new drop on that. And every time I saw the video, I was like, I want that. I want to hit that. And I sent myself off of it and I didn't pop because it's like kind of a downhill into it. And so I got too far back. And so I didn't really have anything to do with my front. And I just dropped into the lander. It was bad, but
safe.
I'm
all
here.
Good?
Yeah. Okay. I had a pretty bad bruise, but I do fairly well with crashes. Knock on wood.
I want to pull up. I was on your Instagram earlier, and you have an awesome crash reel on there.
Oh yeah, it's pretty epic.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's like a testament to my like skill at crashing or luck or.
Yeah, you're not scared to kind of hit the ground.
Yeah, you gotta send it.
I know. I want to show you something quick. I want to show you if I'm able to pull something up. Bear with me.
Okay, cool.
I've got a video of you. Do you remember me taking this video of you at Bryan Head?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I have it. And I just happened to be at the top of that waterfall feature. And and you were just eyeing it up and practicing. And I just happened to catch it on video, and I was so impressed. So impressed.
Thank you. I was like, I got him. Ooh.
Into the tree.
Into the tree. I kicked up some sort of rock. I was so excited though, because it went, and I was like, all right, now I know I can get it.
And that was a gnarly feature for there. That was a really sketchy feature.
It was steep and that run-in. And I think the coolest moment in that pre-ride, though, was like, it might have been earlier in the day, but I ended up, and then we see Portia roll in. And she just like, looks down and does it. And I don't know if she's done it before, but that was the most, I was like, oh, I want to be that.
She makes it look easy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really cool.
I know that feature scared me. So I was pretty stoked. And then I think maybe that was like the first time I really talked to you. I found you in the parking lot. I was like, I've got to share this video with you. It was too cool.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, it was too cool.
Dang.
Yeah. So was this your first full season then, BME?
Yeah.
And then so I was online looking, and then I at some race results and stuff like that for you. And what are you really that new to enduro racing? Are you 2 to 3 years just into enduro racing?
Yeah.
Or mountain biking in general, maybe?
Yeah. I've always biked and like I commuted to work and stuff throughout, I don't know, the early 2000s, whatever. But then in 2020, very pandemic cliche, but I got a mountain bike. I got my first Transition Scout, and I was in Austin, and there's like the green belt right there, and there's tons of like really cool rocky features and stuff to ride on, practice on. And I was pretty much riding solo throughout 2020 until I met a group that rode at another spot called Cat Mountain, which was just like progression central. And so, 2020 was when I started. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. And I think I also I guess maybe it's something about the physical side of it. I just was pretty self-driven in terms of my progression. And then once I met that group that rode at Cat, riding behind better people just makes you better. It makes you push it. And then the location itself, if anybody's ever in Austin and doesn't have time to get out to like Spider or RPR, there's Cat Mountain there. And it has there's just tons of just gnar. And it's funny because I still will reference some of the drops and rolls at Cat. And I look over something and be like, oh, that's nothing compared to Cat.
So you cut your teeth on some good hard stuff then right away.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It helped.
And was this group of riders women specific group?
No, I was the only woman in a group of men, which also I guess helped, but awesome. I'm always looking for groups of women. But it was pretty fun. And they also got me into racing, and my first race was with Team Trail Party, which is my team now, that I joined up with, which has more diversity and is more kind of inclusive, or also puts on really awesome races. And so, I joined up with the team eventually, but I got my start down in Texas, which was really dope to see that scene grow. It's such a great community down there.
Shout out to Team Trail Party. Shout out to Team Trail Party. And was that crew riding? Was that crew around BME last year?
I'm trying to think. Oh, I think, 2 of the Groms were down there.
Okay.
Josh McGurra and I think one other.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell?
Not really. Not right this second, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a couple.
Either here or there.
But hopefully more, especially with Mount Nebo. I think we'll have some more folks out there. Yeah. Oh, wait, was Garrison there? Maybe Garrison was at Garrison Clopton. We had some people.
Nice.
But Trail Party's great. The real selling point of Trail Party races is the format is really built around competition, but also having fun with it. And so you get as many runs down a stage as you can climb to. And so it kind of takes that edge off of man, if you get flat or something kind of random happens, takes that low pressure away.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then so what's on schedule this season? Do you have your race schedule figured out yet or filled in?
There's some really exciting things coming up. So the Texas Enduro Cup always happens kind of in the fall and winter, but coming up more currently is they're setting up this Republic of Texas National Championship. And so there's going to be cross country and enduro. And then also they're setting up this awesome dual slalom course at Reveille Peak Ranch, which is out in Burnett, Texas, which is about an hour from Austin.
Okay.
But it's going to be epic. I've been seeing the pictures of them building. I really want to get down in March to try and help build a bit too. But it's a really cool venue. And cool
when does that start off? What's your first race coming up then? Is that
over Trail Party?
Yeah.
Man.
I guess.
Well, I mean, there is the Spider Downhill, which is happening March 18th and 19th.
Okay.
But then in April is when that national champs is happening, the 15th and 16th.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then
that'll be exciting.
May is Nebo. And then
May is Nebo.
And then that whole thing kicks off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every month. I'm so excited.
I know. Some of them are tight too. Some of them are kind of back to back almost. So once we get up north,
is it like Brian Head and
Durango?
Which one? Yeah, Brian Head and Durango.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then up to Big Sky. Hopefully we get that in. I know everybody's wanting to get back there.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. I haven't ever made it there.
No.
And the last year, that was the floods, right?
Yeah, so that's right. That was the big floods and the Yellowstone, and everything got messed up pretty up there. When you get up there, you'll see like everything, all the roadways just follow the river, just like any other big mountain town. So you can see when all that ice melt comes down, it just gets so watery and thick, heavy water.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Dude, some of those videos just look so sad. And so probably, again, the right call, but it's just a bummer.
I know. Yeah. And, there was just, so hopefully the goal this year is 5 races. Got to start the season, put down 5. A whole season. That'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yep.
Man.
So what else? Let's talk about van life. Tell me about van life. Everybody wants to know about van life.
Totally. I love van life. I did get like sort of, I guess, burnt out over the summer. I was hanging out in Seattle. I have a pretty big community up there as well because I grew up there, and I have a good crew of buddies who do all the outdoor things.
Sure.
And so I was hanging out up there for the summer, but I was really kind of like doing like the driveway parking and like in front of people's houses. And it's not the same as like being out in the wilderness, with your front door open and it's just, an epic front yard. It's like not the same being in a neighborhood, and you're not like epically van lifing, you're just homeless. So it did get burnt out, but if you can stay out in it, it's like way better. It enabled me to go like as far east as Tennessee for a trail party windrock race.
Yeah.
And then up to Missouri, and then like zipping down to Texas to visit friends again. And then like I went to Colorado and New Mexico over the summer to hit Trestle and Angel Fire. And it was just like, it enabled me to be so many places, and it was epic and very livable. Like I had a 159 wheelbase ProMaster that I bought it built out, but it had like everything that I needed. And I was able to work from it, had my little hotspot and worked remote, and it worked out. So it was great. And I feel like everybody always like would ask me like, oh, do you ever like feel unsafe? And I think the biggest thing I was able to like hone or like kind of sharpen was that gut feeling, like being tuned to that gut feeling. And if I didn't feel good somewhere, I was out. So never even let it get anywhere.
Did you have any situations like that where you just got up in the middle of the night, started the van and just left? Yeah.
A couple of like truck stops I just didn't feel good at. And then where else? Usually, I mean, the safest I felt was when I was out in the middle of nowhere, which I think sometimes is a surprise to people. But I think mainly like, truck stops.
Do you do the whole thing where you do the move where you take the seatbelt and wrap it around the door and then lock the seatbelt in?
Oh, I never did that. I should have, or maybe I never had the vibe to.
Yeah.
I just had a curtain divider. And so I felt like if I heard anything happening, I could pull out whatever weapons I had or my like alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is the nicest thing, just be able to get up in the front seat and get the hell out of there whenever something goes wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
And it's so nice, like being cozy, like it became really homey, and like I could be in a Walmart parking lot and be right at home.
Yeah, that's right.
Inside. Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
Great.
Did you travel with a dog or any pets or anything?
No, I always thought about a dog.
Yeah.
And it's such a good companion, and also has those extra senses to be able to alert if something doesn't feel right. But
yeah.
I haven't committed to a dog yet. It's also hard with like traveling.
Yeah. And then the dog would have to. You do love dog sitting? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
I'm a 5-star sitter on Rover, if anybody ever needs.
Do you really do side gigs watching dogs?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
When
awesome.
I was home in Seattle. Yeah. It was a nice way to like be house sitting and like also get out of the van for a second too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then would you stay at the people's houses too sometimes? Like stay overnight with the dogs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do that. I just last year I lost my dog. It was a 230-pound Saint Bernard.
Wow.
I know.
That's a honker.
He was huge.
What's his name?
His name is Charlie. Charlie the dog. I know. I should pull up some pictures, but I'll get emotional if I do that.
Yeah. How old was he?
He was, I think, got to be about 7, which is good for a Saint Bernard. I mean, it was obvious, like, once he grew so fast, like, he was going to have bone problems. There was just, the vet told us pretty early on, these breeds get huge bone problems. But he was our 3rd Saint Bernard, and he lived a long, happy life with kind of messed up knees, I guess, like all of us have. And then he got the bloat, like his stomach flipped over. Like, you ever heard of that?
Oh.
In dogs?
Yeah. Yeah, where it twists.
Yeah, exactly.
What does it happen from? From activity, or just something happens?
Yeah, well, I think so, exactly. But we were warned of that. Like if he has heavy activity and then wants to eat or drink a bunch of water, to kind of watch that, because it'll be a lot of air intake. But man, this happened at like, I don't even know, 6:37 in the morning. It was just, he was off. We just knew it when we saw him, like something was off first. And then I got down to give him some love, and his stomach was just distended and hard as a rock. Yep. It was kind of gross, kind of real quick too. So got him in the car down to the vet, and by the time I got to the vet parking lot, it was over.
Dang, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, all good. Charlie boy, he was a good one. Huge, 220 pounds. He was massive.
Big dog.
I know. He became like a little bit of a circus sideshow. Like it kind of felt bad for him because we couldn't really walk anywhere. Everywhere we walk, he just get mobbed by people and everybody. So
that's funny.
He lived a celebrity
Isn't
life.
That the size of like a Newfoundland?
Yeah.
Like those types of dogs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
I like those Big Mountain dogs.
Charlie. Yeah.
When I fell in love with St. Bernards when I lived in Summit County in Colorado, right out of college. This lifty at Keystone had a St. Bernard named Lucky. And that dog would just sit at the bottom of the gondola there all day long. No leash, nothing, just sit there and kind of greet everybody. And then I even would see him around town, take him into coffee shops, and it was just an epic, magical dog. Lucky, I think that was it. Lucky. I don't know.
Lucky. See, these good dogs, man.
And that dude definitely, and Lucky had a barrel of whiskey around his neck too. I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That was the question funny. We always got with our dog was, do you have a barrel of whiskey around his neck? Where's the whiskey?
Just.
I know. I was like, I'm not going to tie a barrel of whiskey to his neck just every day.
That's funny.
Plus, it would be empty all the time anyway.
Yeah.
It would be empty.
It'd be the cargo dog, though. That's funny.
Yeah.
Man, that doesn't make me want to get a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be cool to travel with a dog and kind of just get to be each other's homies for life, got each other's backs, travel in the van life. That'd be cool.
And it works out for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Having the van dogs.
Yeah.
And you can you've got a big old front yard wherever you go in a lot of places. So yeah, it can work out.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what else is going on? Are you a snowboarder too? Do you snowboard?
I do snowboard. It's been nice being able to get up to Snow Bowl up in Flagstaff. It's only like an hour 20 away from Sedona, and so I can do it. I can do both. I could do the snowboarding and also the biking, and Snow Bowl's been getting a lot of good snow this winter. Apparently, that's not typical, but it's been pretty nice.
I haven't been there. What's Snow Bowl? Where's that?
It's like up. It's on Agassiz. I'm butchering it. Peak. Up in Flagstaff, like right in the town, or right like outside of the town.
Cool.
And it's got some good runs, and I think about 6 lifts or 7 lifts. Nice.
It's
great.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't do much of like the backcountry. I would love to get into that, but I don't know. I'm spending a lot on bikes. So
one sport at a time.
Yeah.
One expense at a time.
Yeah. Speaking of, I'm really excited because Brian had won that enduro frame, which I was so stoked about. That was so awesome. And there we go. Hey, I was so excited. That's like the biggest prize I've ever won.
I know.
And I was like, yeah, I'm very excited about it. And then for the overall, I got a fork. And so I was like, okay, well, I have to build this out now. And so it's currently in the shop at Rift Cycles in Taos, New Mexico. My buddies, Molly and Raph, just bought that bike shop, are creating the bike shop. And so I'm having them build it out for me, and they're going to have it ready for Sedona Bike Fest. So I'm very excited to meet this bike.
That's so cool.
It should be pretty. Yeah. We're doing, since the fork is orange, we're going with some orange highlights on it. I'm pretty stoked. I've really always gone like stock transition bikes. So this is like the first bike that I've had the chance to really customize and build out.
What else are you going to do to it? What kind of wheels are you going to do? Tell me a little bit. What else you got?
Oh man. I know we're doing I9 hubs.
Yes.
And, I know we're doing an orange. Oh man, I hit the spec sheet. Let me get what Raph put together.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about you. I don't know if you heard our podcast with Robert, but I've listened to the first 2 and haven't listened to the third. Yeah, I think he mentions you in there. He goes, "What was the amateur's name that damn near won a whole bike?" And has you? Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah." And that's funny because we were talking about you that day on the podcast, and then you emailed me saying, "Hey, I heard Porsche's and I want to be on." So I was like,
"Yeah."
Your ears were burning. Yeah.
Yes, I think that must have been it. I'm so excited. Okay, we're going with the Float X with Kashima, and we're also doing a Kashima dropper because we need to get the Kashima to match.
Yes.
Like, who knew all this? There's so many options. Let's see. It was so fun. He put together, I don't know if you can see this, like a whole build. Like either at first we were looking at like a copper color scheme or murdered out.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Zoomed in.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, man. So got I9 wheels, wolf tooth headset. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we might go with like a deity handlebar because like for the orange, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I haven't even seen a picture of it yet. But
well, I'm really glad you're doing something cool with that. That's really good.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
At first it was, it'll be a race bike, man.
Full-blown
I really
race
have
bike,
loved my I have loved my transitions. But I'm excited to check out the Enduro.
That's cool.
I've gone up through I had the Scout, and then I had the Sentinel and now the Patrol, and they've been dope bikes. But yeah, I've heard really good things about the Enduro, so I'm excited to get on it.
And then on transition, also, I'm actually looking into transition a little this year. What's the other one that they had? Is it the Spire? Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's their big 29er.
Yeah,
like
right.
170, I believe.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
but apparently it's still agile.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I haven't been on transition, but one of the shops near us has them, so I might go down and see what's going on with that.
Nice. Yeah.
Have you always ran, so it was always transition straight from the start?
Yeah. The very first bike that I took a lesson on, which was in Moab with Magpie Cycles, they were like, their fleet bikes were transition scouts. And so and that was in 2019. And so then when pandemic happened, everything was shutting down. Like I was like, I need to find a transition scout because that's what I learned on. And I got the last small transition scout out of the Evo in Denver, and they like shipped it to me. So that was the first one.
Nice. And then what was last year's bike?
And then I had a Sentinel for a while. I love that bike. That's a machine. It's their 29er. It's just like the faster you go, the better it runs. And then, but then I jumped to the Patrol because I would like, the only complaint that I had was that like, maybe it wasn't quite as agile as my like 27.5 Scout. And then also I was like buzzing my butt a lot on stuff going down steep. And so my buddy recommended that I try out a Patrol, and that's a mullet. So I've been loving the mullet.
That's cool. I've never ridden a mullet. Haven't got there yet.
It's good. Yeah.
Are you going to set this bike up like that then? Specialized?
Mullet, maybe. I know Cascade. I think it's Cascade. They make a attachment or component for changing it to mullet. So we'll see. That'll be next. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. Brand new wheels, brand new bike for this whole season. That's going to be great. Yeah,
with that orange scheme. And then, I know we're going to do orange hubs and then orange spokes, like a couple orange spokes. So I'm excited.
We'll see you coming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know. I need to listen to.
Go. Tell me, what do you need to listen to?
I need to listen to the third podcast. I've been so like re-inspired by the first two. Just, hearing Portia and like what she's up to. And then like Colton, that sounds like a rigorous training schedule, or like that he's just biking all the time. So I'm like, I need to get on my game.
You're doing just fine. I'm sure. Keeping active, at least, Yeah, Colton's next level. Those guys, I mean, I think he's really training hard this year. It's something else. It exhausted me. And then I even talked about going out there and maybe training and watching him and doing a little behind the scenes thing for BME. Yeah, he exhausted me because he was like, yeah, man, we'll do the trails, we'll do lunch, we'll do the gym, we'll do trails, we'll eat, and that's it. And that's it. Damn. Yeah.
It's serious.
But they're getting ready to go. I mean, they start in, I don't know what he said, April, going to the EWS, not EWS anymore, UCI, Enduro.
The UCI. Okay. Yeah. So he's traveling abroad?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they do 2 rounds before they'll do 2 of the World Cup Series before they even get to Nebo.
Wow. It's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
It's super, super inspiring. Like and even hearing Portia talking about like racing internationally, it's something to look forward to, look up to. And I'm just excited to be able to like ride around with these women this season. I'm like highly nervous about how it's going to go, and I definitely have some like, what's that called? Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But like, hey, I'm really excited to learn what these ladies do to, be at this level.
Well, isn't that like really one of the coolest things about what we have going on too in this sport of enduro is that you can be there all week with them, watch their lines, kick back with them even. And it's just a really accessible community to grow fast and learn. It's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah.
Because like last year was just the first taste of it for me.
And you win.
I'm excited to.
And you took the category. I mean, how awesome is that?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I do wish that I'd had like locked in and in Bend, but yeah. I'll take it.
That's true. Will you race what category this year? What will you be in?
I think pro. I'm nervous, but I think since I took the overall, I don't think I'm allowed to race amateur. I wish we had an expert, but how that goes, numbers.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I didn't know if that was the case. That's cool. And now, are you fully nervous?
Yeah. In terms of placement, I've been trying to reframe my mindset because these women are animals. They are so fast. And if it was any comparison to times last year, obviously I'm going to try really hard, but I'm prepared to have it be a learning experience.
Well, you got to have a first rookie year up there in the pros. I mean, in that category, you got to get started somewhere,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So we'll see how it goes and see what I can pick up from conversations or even just watching people and how they prepare. And I'm excited.
Well, you're amongst some really good riders. The field for the pro women riders is really cool. And that's one of the things I was telling Portia too, is it was really cool just to be up on the starting lines of all the, the courses last year. And I got to really see how everybody focused, how everybody interacted with each other, to see how the nerves hit. How were you at the starting lines last year? What were your nerves like up there each time?
I definitely got the butterflies, and what I tried to do was I tried to go away from everybody and sort of breathe a bit and then visualize the really hard parts. I remember on Wildflower and is it Little Gritty at Brian Head. Those were two that I definitely got to the top, and I was okay, here we go. And so really going up, breathing, and trying to visualize helped me kind of quell a lot of that starting line nerves, and then just sort of, I guess, hyping up the other gals in the amateur class. I really loved cheering for ones who went ahead of me, and and then checking in at the bottom, see how everybody did. And that's how I quelled it. But I was definitely nervous.
And do you prefer to kind of, so once you get your wits gathered and take a little moment, are you ready then to just drop in? Or do you prefer to kind of hang back a little bit and wait till the line goes away and the crowd goes away, and then you have your own space?
I think once I get that visualization done, I'm let's go.
Let's drop
Let's get down. Yeah. And then another thing that helped, my friend Amanda, she's a buddy from Texas, who back when I was having a series of crashes, I think I was trying to progress too quick or something. But at one point I was because of all those crashes, I was not having fun with it anymore. And she reminded me, we do this to have fun. If you're not having fun, what the heck are you doing? And so I think it might've been Wildflower all the way down. I was have fun. So that helped.
And then maybe that's, if you're having fun, you're riding faster, you're riding loose.
You're riding smooth and just and you're staying within your limits. You're not too scaring yourself, but you're still nailing stuff. Yeah.
Well, steady is fast in this game, I guess, Steady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll try and remember all that.
What did you think about the rest of Brian Head that? There's some of those gritty, how washed out that was. And
I was pretty washed out. I'm really glad that the pros, I think, did they go first? They must have gone first, because I remember it from pre-ride to when I did my race run. It was just felt very clean. Like they had cleared out a lot of that like baby heads and stuff. It was nice.
Yeah. That was some some really bad washed out. They must have gotten pounded with storms before we got there. Like it was.
Yeah, those thunderstorms were no joke.
Yeah. Yeah. You could tell like that mountain was just a river of many rivers, I guess, just getting flooded down it. Even to the point where I noticed some of the tracks were like kind of V'd out, and now people were staying on top of the ledges even most, you know?
Yeah. Some of those fast lines were up on the high side. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy. So in a place like that, and you talk about like visualization stuff and getting ready, what do you, in practice, do you visualize everything, or do you do the GoPro route and go home and watch the GoPro footage? Do you have any kind of routine that you found that worked out for you?
Yeah, that race I definitely did the GoPro, which helped a lot, and then watched them that night. And then I think I zeroed in on like the specific points where in the GoPro video, like, okay, I went down in the rut and I need to get up above like by this one log or something like that. And then really visualizing that. And I remember like I had a pretty good, darn good race. And like, I remember some of those lines where I'm like, oh, there's the log. And I got up and I was so excited that I like hit my line. And, but yeah, the GoPro helped me a lot.
Yeah. I found it. That's a good way. And a lot of people do. And a lot of the guys I heard or overheard, I guess, is kind of break it into sections, visualize each section, clean a section and move on. And that seems to work great for a lot of people. And that's great when you can get the GoPro footage on Thursday and Friday and then sit home at night or sit in the van and watch it and actually pick out that log or pick out that rock. And then it's funny. And then you're going down the hill and you're like, oh, there's the log. Take a left, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly.
It works.
Exactly. Yeah. And going down, I went through with Hannah Russert and her crew, and just like having other riders to see those lines. Like, I think I went in the rut because that's all I saw. But then her boyfriend saw the upper line and helped us all see it later. So,
well, isn't that funny too, how everybody kind of sees it different?
Yeah. Different riding styles, different bodies, and it's super.
Yeah. And then it is kind of fun when you do see somebody like just put in that little high or something, and you go, "Oh, that was perfect! Like that was really neat."
Yeah,
like figuring out a puzzle, a big puzzle.
Yeah, it's cool. I love this racing thing.
It obviously suits you very well too, Teresa.
Yeah, thank you.
Or T-Dog. What do your friends know you as? I heard T-Dog. I heard Tangy T.
Tangy T, or just T. That
just
works.
T. Or
yeah.
Well, that's
I
cool.
like that. Yeah, Tangy T's stuck with the Instagram screen name. That was my AOL like instant messenger screen name for a while back in the day.
Yeah, so. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So what else is next then? What else is next? What are we going to do next? Any more snowboarding before the winter is gone? I doubt that with this snowpack, this winter's ever going to leave. This winter's
for real.
Nuts.
Like, when is it? I really wanted to make it up, trying to see Brian Head in the snow. We'll see. Because it's like on the same pass as Snowball's pass. Yeah. I forget. Yeah. So we'll see. Snowball or in Flagstaff just got another dousing of snow. So maybe next week I'll make it up. I have like a weekday pass. So maybe some more snowboarding. I definitely want to make it up. Well, first down to Texas for the like Texas national champs, and then like also some digging and just seeing my community down there. And then I also want to get back up to Washington. up in Washington. I'm with a group called Donut Squad. And it's a group that's really focused on like diversity and inclusion, and specifically around like women in mountain biking and also like non-binary. And the last time I was up in Washington, I helped on a pretty awesome big day up in Port Gamble. And it was on this trail that's fully like women and non-binary, like designed, built. And we're naming it for debauchery after like the big day event. So it'll be really cool to get up there. I know they're having a dig day on March 11th, so maybe they'll finish it up. And I want to get back up. That's cool.
Wow, you really do keep busy. You really do keep moving around. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's worked out.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was like thinking of the van life thing, or even just like traveling before that, I remember one of my like coworkers who had like kids and family and house. He was like, well, if you don't have like a dog or a house or like a boyfriend at the time, like go. You're free. Go do your thing.
You're doing it. You're actually doing the thing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I don't know if I could do a good... 2 summers ago, I rented a van, did the van life rental thing, rented it from Asheville, piled 3 of my dirtbag buddies in, drove all the way to Montana, and my wife and kids met me out there. My buddies flew home, and so the rest of the family, we pack in and start RVing home, hitting like Yellowstone, hitting Colorado, a couple places. We have like 2 or 3 weeks to get home, taking our time.
Yeah.
We got through Yellowstone and then started getting on some of the interstate, and my kids bailed. They weren't having it.
Oh, they were like, we need to get out of this thing.
They were over it. They were over it. They were over it. And I just saw it going differently, like them sitting and peacefully doing puzzles or for 6 or 7 hours at a time. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but like once we got out of some serious...
Was it like an RV or like what kind of a vehicle was it?
It was like it was a smaller class B, I guess they're called, smaller class B. It was made by Winnebago, but only, I don't know how big it was. It was small, just had the one bed in the back, and then the front table would drop to the bed. But once we got done, like the touristy stuff, and we had to actually put in miles on the road, like to get to the other destination, that didn't work. It drove them crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of driving.
Yeah. I dropped them off at the Albuquerque airport, actually, and drove home the rest of the way by myself.
Nice. Dang.
They were cooked.
Did you enjoy that, though? Sometimes I enjoy, like, the miles on miles. Like,
yeah. I was absolutely fine with it. Yeah. I loved it. I had a coffee maker going the whole time. And
nice.
It was great. I loved it.
Heck yeah.
It's nice when you're also like not in a hurry to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you give yourself time or a week or so to get places, and that helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It helps you get to know the country. Actually, that happened to me. I was like, what was that? Maybe it was on the way back from Ironton. I don't know if that timing lines up, but I was wanting to get back to Texas. And then like that coming weekend was an Arkansas Enduro Series race at like Leatherwood and Passion Play in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And then my friend had like a free registration through Monster. And so I was like, sure, I'll take it. So I went and just like impromptu raced. Nice. It was pretty fun. And so this is nice to like take your time and be able to like say yes to like side adventures. And it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. It sounds like you're doing it right. You're doing it right. It does sound fun. It sounds productive. It sounds fun. It sounds entertaining. It sounds busy.
Somehow holding down my job in between activities. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm
unfortunately, there is
that
job thing. There is the job thing.
I know. How cool would that be to race for a living?
Well, you'll get there, I think. I think you're on your way.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I hope I'm not too late to the game. I'm not. I'm about to be 34 in June. So,
yeah. You're good. I mean, it doesn't, I don't think it matters I don't think what the age matters. It's just, get out there and put up some good numbers and good times. And
true.
I guess just keep showing up, number one, right? And that the number one will just keep showing up.
Exactly. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people don't show up, a lot of people talk the big game, but to actually get out there and do it and show up every race, every week, every practice, it's tough. It's a commitment. True. Yeah. Commitment.
That's sort of how last year happened. I didn't have any, I remember talking to Tyler, the guy who talked me into doing Iron 10. I was like, maybe I'll just try and hit the rest of them. And he was like, yeah, if you can. Because if I podiumed in the first one, why not try and go for it? And I did. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I wish that I could have made it to Purgatory too, but, or at least one other, but such is how it went.
Did you sign up for Purgatory? Did you have a conflict?
Actually that was the same weekend as Sturdy Dirty. And I think it's also aligning with Sturdy Dirty this weekend or this year. Have you heard of Sturdy?
No, I have not.
It's really cool. It's an all women's enduro that happens up in the Pacific Northwest. This year it's happening at Raging River. But yeah, it's really dope. I think we had 300 women in it last year. And yeah, all women. I've only done it 2 years now. And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look at you. Okay.
Yeah, look at me. I was really proud of that. I because the first year that I came back to Washington, it was I think it was my first race back in the Pacific Northwest. And I had a lot of luck down in the South and in Texas. And then I came back and got ninth in 2021. And so then when I went back last year and I won for expert, I was so stoked because these women up in the Northwest are no joke.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look how close these times are. Look at the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty intense.
I mean, that's less than 2 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Over first and second and third place.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they're close. And then it's so cool because Jill Kintner always shows up for it. I think Ingrid LaRouche, I saw her at Ironton too. She's out there. So yeah, it's a pretty cool event. And it's just so cool to see that camaraderie among women up there. And just more promotion for progression and encouragement for other ladies in the sport.
Encouragement is the word. It is really cool to watch everybody encourage each other. And golly, I can't imagine what a day that was coming down that close to the wire. You must have been on top of the world.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw when you turn in your chip, I was like, what, is that real? Is this happening? Because that was a tough course too. And I took a couple falls too. But yeah, those women were great. I think amongst those top 5, I think each of us at least took a stage win. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. And that's so cool. And I was talking with this about Colton too, about how sometimes these finals come down to such a small sliver. You weren't, was that Iron, or was that Brian that he won by 0.03 over Cody? I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. He was so stoked on that.
I don't think he really remembers what happened. He was.
He just blacked out.
I know. He was going wild.
That would be intense.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Man, that would be so cool to do well in pro.
Do you do any to get ready? Are you into any kind of sports psychology kind of stuff? Are you going to do any kind of I don't know, like meditation sessions or therapy sessions that kind of get you dialed in to say, I am going to win this pro or I am going to do good.
That's a really good idea. I think it works. I mean, the mind is so powerful. Were you talking, was it with Colton about like how, like you, maybe I heard it on a different podcast, but it was something about like that you could visualize it and that does like 75% of like the work of actually doing it or something like that.
Well, and I think the theory kind of says, if you visualize yourself doing it, you've already done it. So then you just show up and kind of complete the circle. You just go through the motions at that point. And that's why I find out and that's why I like the visualization that people use with the GoPro and stuff like that. Like if you can really just visualize the whole thing the day before, it seems to make it just that much easier. I don't know.
Like your mind's already in it. And for me, particularly like visualizing the spots that scared me helped me know what to do going into it. Almost like slowed it down for me. Like, okay, here's the spot and I'm dropping into what I saw in my head. And it does help. Hey, maybe I will. That would be cool. One thing that I have been doing is cold plunges, I think mentally is strengthening. It's been awesome. I actually get your body kind of like starts to crave it. Like I actually haven't done it for a couple of days and I miss it.
So what's your routine there? Where do you find a cold plunge to do? How do you get this done on the road?
I got this little, I think it's like a Japanese soaking tub on Amazon. It's like just big enough for you to like kind of like sit in with like curl your knees up type of thing. And I just filled it up with hose water and I've been sitting it out in the cold and Sedona gets pretty cold at night. And it's snowed a couple times or been crusted with like ice. And so, and I just get in. I've done, I think the most that I've done, it was like maybe like 4 minutes. And I don't know if that's particularly safe, but I've been kind of like consistently at least trying to hit 2 minutes in it.
That's cool. That's definitely on my DIY home project list. I want to get one of those going.
Make a little cold tub. Yeah, it's nice. I also have noticed that like some chronic pains and stuff definitely have like gone down. Inflammation in general gone down, and then it might help me with like focus and stuff. I don't have a good test for that, but I also like I've started to, instead of like jumping straight into like a hot shower, I'll like try and go and like do some steps or something for a little while, and that'll warm me up. It's kind of it's been a cool practice to have.
I think there's absolute complete truth to everything they say about it. I mean, even if you just sit in a cold shower, like all the way cold, you come out feeling different. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Just like fresh or something.
The endorphins, and I think it lasts for a while too. Like I think your endorphins go nuts, and I think it sticks around you for a day or something, and not the day, but helps you get through the day in a better mood. Put it that way,
Totally, it's nice.
Do you do it first thing in the morning?
Yeah, first thing when I get up. Yeah, it's a good way to start it off. I've done it like after a bike ride too, like when I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna be sore. Popped in there. I don't know what I'm going to do when it starts to get warmer, or when I'm like zipping around in the van. I won't have access to it, but I am pretty stoked. This new van has hot water. I'm very excited about that. I didn't have a hot shower before.
Did your other van even have a shower?
It had a hose out the back. Yeah. So it was like a bike wash, but also I could spray myself down.
So now we're up to indoor plumbing, indoor shower, or still outdoor?
Not an indoor shower. It's still out the back and the hose, but it's hot. So
that's cool. So did you have to improve it with a water heater and like make that happen?
So this one, I had sold that old van, which I do regret, but it's okay. We don't need to ruminate. But I found this new van, and this one was built with this hot water heater that apparently it like pulls from like the radiator heating. So while you're driving, it heats the heater, but then it also can pull from the inverter and heat the water as well. Pretty neat.
That's cool.
Technology. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Then you just have to stop and buy ice every once in a while and get a...
Yeah, I guess I'll probably bring my little tub around. It is just like a plastic thing with like ribs that you can take out of it. So maybe I can make a cold plunge here and there.
Oh, I can't wait to see that happening in the parking lot. You're going to have all the crew around cold plunging. That'll be awesome.
That would be so awesome. Oh, I'm totally going to bring it now. That's great. Yeah. I'm inspired. That'll be great.
Cool.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, yeah.
What?
I'm so excited for the community at Nebo. Because, yeah, I do know that a lot of the Texas folk are going to be coming up. And, yeah.
Well, we've been looking at registration, and I think Robert was telling me that most of the registration, a lot of the registration is surrounding riders of that area. So I think we definitely expect a good local, kind of crew. And plus all the pros and stuff that are registered and coming in, they're running the whole series. But I think that we'll also see some people that are just running this one-off race in that region. But it's a unique place. It was cool. It was really neat. We hit this one trail they're going to open up, and it was just, it was top to bottom rock garden. It was...
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it going to get a little beaten in, sort of?
Yeah. No? So it's definitely a worn in facility. Like some of them are hiking trails, some of them are biking trails. I think they're going to combine them all. But it's got a good feel to it. Like you definitely feel like you need to pay attention, and there's some sketchy stuff out there. And then they do a good job. Like there was all these nice logging roads that kind of bring you all the way back up. So the climbs weren't bad at all. It was really easy just kind of finding your way around everywhere. But once these new trails get broken in, that'll be really cool. Like I think those guys are really excited to see tires on the ground and start wearing it in. Yeah, the stuff we were hitting was just fresh raked grass. It was just fluffy and
wow.
It was nothing burned in at all. So yeah, it was. It was full blown powder skiing.
Wow.
So I know it was fun. It was cool. Yeah. And the excitement that the guys that we met had, it's pretty cool. It's going to show. And the town is way supportive. We stopped by a bike shop, a couple coffee shops, and everybody was in the know and ready to see what's going to happen and see how some of the racers race that mountain. That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
See what kind of speeds the pros like yourself bring into the area. It's going to be interesting to see what the pros like yourself bring into the area. What kind of speed? Yeah. Yes.
It will be really cool. Man, I remember, what's his name? One of the Specialized guys in pre-ride, we were working down a really steep, chunky part, and we were all skirting around the outside. And he just looked right over the steepest, gnarliest rock roll. Just did it.
Yep. That
is pretty cool.
Yeah. I have a couple good memories of because we get there early, and so we get there about a week early, and we're usually on foot for the first couple of days, just hiking and just marking the trails and marking out and clearing obstacles or whatever. Yeah. And then every once in a while, you got to watch behind you because quietly someone comes down raging so fast, just quiet as could be. And and we saw that in Ironton. We saw a train of Specialized guys just come down, 6, 7, 8 of them out of nowhere.
Wow.
And I don't know. For somebody like me, it's really cool to watch. I don't know. I could watch it all day.
It is. Yeah. They look smooth. They're composed. It's really cool. It was Snow. Jacob Snow. Name? I remember that. He was the one.
Yeah. Make it look smooth, fast, quiet, easy. It's really, I don't know. Ride at whole nother level, whole nother speed.
It's pretty incredible.
Well, it's so good to see you and have you on here. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me the time.
You were definitely on my list. You were awesome to reach out, so I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I was super stoked. I always love talking about Texas and the Northwest, and just showing appreciation for the groups and people and places that have gotten me to this point kind of pretty quick. So yeah,
pretty quick is right. I don't think I realized that until I started doing some show research for you, and I was like, I think this says she just started in 2020. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm impressed for sure. I'm sure others are too. You're a good one.
Thanks.
You're a good ambassador as well for the sport. You bring the energy, you bring the stoke and the livelihood to it all. It's,
Thanks. I try.
Yeah.
And I'm always super stoked to see other women. I'm always excited about that. So yeah.
Well, will you come back on maybe after your first race and show me the new bike and everything? And
yeah, absolutely. I'm so stoked about the bike. I can't wait to meet it. I know Raph was supposed to give me an update tomorrow. So darn it. It was just.
So you'll be picking it up soon then?
Yeah, they're bringing it down to Sedona Mountain Bike Fest. So
okay.
I'll be zipping around on it.
Oh my gosh. I could see your smile already. It's going to be great to see you on that. It's going to be cool.
Oh my gosh. It's just wild. I've always dreamt of having Kashima and I don't know. And it's silly, but it's not. It's I don't know. They just look really cool.
I don't think it's silly at all. I mean, it's not only does it look cool, but the stuff works, and I don't know. You're going to be on a proper race rig now. That's cool.
Yeah. Really? Thanks.
Yep. Well, best of luck to you in everything you do this season. I'll be there cheering for you.
Thanks, Rich. I'm excited to see you in person again. When we
won't be long.
Get together.
Yeah, it won't be long at all. So,
it's coming right up.
Cool. Well, stay in touch with me and let me know. I'm sure I'll be following you through these preseason races, but I can't wait to see you this season at the BME, and we'll talk soon.
Sweet. Same. Yeah.
Thanks, Teresa. It was good seeing you.